Eating organically is no longer just a gimmick supported by millennials. According to a recent statement released last October from Mercaris, an organic market data and commodity trading service, since 2002, when the United States Department of Agriculture, or the USDA, established national organic standards, the number of acres of organic farmland has tripled in the United States. From 2 million in 2002 to roughly 6.5 million just last year. And last year, organic products accounted for $21 billion in sales as reported by Nielsen. Eating organically is worth the extra cost because organic foods are not treated with synthetic chemical pesticides, growth hormones, or antibiotics. And they do not contain genetically modified organisms or GMOs, making them better for you and better for the environment. Conventionally grown foods should be limited in one's diet because they are treated with synthetic fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, and insecticides, and may contain GMOs. Some crops, like corn and soy, have parts of their genetic code altered to create favorable traits like herbicide resistance. This means the surrounding weeds will die, but the plants will survive the harsh chemical herbicides being sprayed. Over time, weeds adapt to these herbicides, resulting in more chemicals being sprayed on our food. The website ewg.org, or the Environmental Working Group, analyzed data from the USDA and found that 70% of U.S. produce contains pesticide residue. Washing and peeling food is not always enough to remove this pesticide residue. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, since these GMOs have been introduced, the use of glyphosate, a widely used herbicide, has increased 16-fold. The World Health Organization reported in March of 2015 that the herbicide glyphosate is probably carcinogenic in humans. A study published in February by researchers from the University of Wisconsin found that there was a significant link between glyphosate exposure and an increased risk of non-Hodgkin lymphoma. USDA certified organic products must be free of GMOs, and known synthetic chemicals can be used as fertilizers, pesticides, or herbicides. Instead, natural methods like composting, crop rotation, tilling, and cover crops are used to control pests and weeds. Some may argue that organic products still use pesticides. While this is true, the pesticides must be naturally derived. A study published in this month's issue of Environmental Research Journal found switching to an organic diet significantly reduced the amount of pesticides found in the urine. Unlike organic foods, conventional foods may be treated with growth hormones or antibiotics. Growth hormones are used to promote faster growth of livestock and increase profits for farmers. Concerns have been raised regarding the use of the recombinant bovine growth hormone, or RBGH, in cows. While it is inconclusive whether or not the milk that comes from cows treated with RBGH cause adverse effects in humans, places like the European Union and Canada do not permit its use. The use of antibiotics in livestock accounts for nearly 80% of all antibiotic use in the United States. Antibiotics are used for both growth and to prevent disease in animals. This long-term use of antibiotics could contribute to bacteria becoming resistant to the antibiotics. We must also consider the welfare of these animals and err on the side of caution when it comes to consuming meats that have been treated with growth hormones or antibiotics. For meat and dairy products to be considered and certified organic, no growth hormones or antibiotics can be used to the animals. The animals also need to have access to the outdoors and must be fed organic feed that contains no animal byproducts. Eating organic means you are investing in your health. There are recent studies that show organic food is indeed superior to that of which is conventionally grown. A French study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association followed 68,946 French adults who were mostly women and found that those who had a diet that consisted of mostly organic products had a reduced risk of cancer. An analysis published in the British Journal of Nutrition reported that organic foods were 48% less likely to contain the toxic heavy metal cadmium that accumulates in the liver and kidneys. The British Journal of Nutrition also published a study in 2016 that states organic meat and milk products contain 47% more omega-3 fatty acids than their conventional counterparts. They link this to the organic raising of the livestock that allows them to spend time outdoors grazing in the grass, which has more omega-3s than the grain-fed to conventionally raised cows. Recent studies have shown that organic products can be more nutritious than conventionally grown products. The Journal of Agriculture and Food Chemistry published a 6-year study that looked at 2 varieties of onions. Some were grown conventionally and others were grown organically, and they concluded that that those grown organically had higher levels of antioxidants. Supporting organic means you are contributing to a cleaner environment. Organic farms use methods like crop rotation, which is better for the soil and it reduces soil erosion, improves crop yields, replenishes nitrogen in the soil, helps mitigate pests, reduces disease, and improves soil fertility. The methods used by organic farmers, like mulching, help conserve water by reducing evaporation and increasing moisture retention. Organic farming methods, through the use of shallow channels, also prevent water runoff. There is less groundwater pollution because synthetic fertilizers, herbicides, insecticides, and pesticides are not used. This is better for local wildlife, like birds and deer. Organic soil also sequesters more CO2 because of crop rotation and the use of cover crops, which increase the amount of carbon that is returned to the soil. Conventional farming methods take a toll on the environment by stripping nutrients from the soil due to monocropping, or only planting one crop over and over and over again, and polluting the water that runs off the land. Imagine knowing that your food and the food you and your family are eating are free from harsh chemicals, antibiotics, growth hormones, and GMOs. Doesn't that give you peace of mind? When you eat good and take care of your body, you can't help but feel good about yourself. And not only are you improving the food that you're eating, but you are helping the environment when you decide to eat organically. Visualize fields of crops that are mulched instead of being sprayed by synthetic pesticides like Roundup. And the crops are being rotated to improve soil conditions. Buying organic is also supporting wildlife and animal welfare. Picture a wide open field with cows grazing on green grass. Instead of having no access to the outdoors and being shot full of antibiotics and growth hormones. Making the choice to buy organic means you are making an investment in your health, a cleaner environment, and supporting a more ethical way of treating animals. So you may be thinking, how do I get started? What do I look for at the supermarket? Don't worry, you don't have to completely overhaul your pantry today. Just start making little changes, like consulting the EWG.org's annual list of the Dirty Dozen, which features the top 12 dirtiest produce in terms of pesticides. Also thinking about switching foods that are heavy in your rotation to organic. While more and more seals are popping up on our food labels, I promise it's not as complicated as it may seem. This seal here means that it has been certified USDA organic, and it will be accompanied by a seal that also says that it's non-GMO, because the two go hand in hand. In the produce section, you want to look for produce that's labeled with a 5-digit number that starts with the letter 9. This indicates that the produce is organic. Buying organic doesn't have to be costly. Just look for products that are in season and on sale. Eating seasonally is one way to save your money, and when the product is most plentiful, so it will usually be on sale. Plus, fruits and vegetables taste better when they're in season because they aren't being picked early and they're traveling cross-country. If you're having trouble finding organic products locally, try websites like thrivemarket.com, ButcherBox, brandlist.com, and even Amazon, which acquired Whole Foods in 2017. Ultimately, it is us, the consumers, that have the say in how our food is grown and processed. When you choose to purchase organic products, you are telling the food industry that you demand better food, a healthier environment, and better treatment of animals. Thank you.